Yeah, and let's talk about the number 5 reason why you may not be getting a job right now. And it may be you have a bad fit between your strengths and the job you're trying to pursue. And this can then show up either as lack of experience, lack of certifications, lack of technical skills, lack of soft skills, whatever those things are. Now, when we talk about a bad fit between your strengths and the job you're pursuing, you have to think internally, what kind of a person am I? What things do I enjoy doing? For example, are you very checklist oriented, or are you a very creative problem solver? Those would have two very different skills inside of the cybersecurity world, right? If I'm a checklist driven person, I should be something like an IT auditor, or maybe a vulnerability analyst or something of that nature, where I am doing scans, patching scans, making sure all the configurations are checked, making sure everything is done properly, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. Now, on the other hand, if you're a creative problem solver and you hate checklists and you hate having a specific order of everything having to be done, you may be better as a penetration tester, where you have to think creatively to break into systems and work your way around different problems. But if you're one of those and you're going for the other type of job, you're going to struggle and you're not going to do well in that job, and that's going to give you bad performance evaluations. It may have that you're not a good fit and they don't even hire you in the first place, and all of those things that can happen. Kip, what are some examples you think about when you think about bad fit of strengths and the job?
Yeah, so I was trying to hire one time, and I use disc profiles to help better understand people. And I think disc is a good instrument to accelerate getting to know somebody quickly. And remember, I told you that when you're trying to interview for a job, you've got to figure out how to quickly let people know who you are. And I think a disc profile is a kind of a good way to do that. Anyway, so I was doing disc profiles with candidates, and I was looking at this one result that was shared with me, and it was a young lady, and she was applying for a job that I knew was going to require her to spend a lot of time being alone working on the computer. But when I looked at her disk profile, it showed me that she was really, really high in her preference to talk to people all day long. Now, I don't have a problem with people who want to talk to other people all day long per se, but the idea that she was going to take this job where she wouldn't be talking to people most of the day really struck me as like that might be a bad fit. And so I actually said, I brought this to her attention, and she said, "Gosh, I've never really thought of that. I've just always assumed that." That everybody finds it difficult to spend hours a day, every day, staring at a computer screen. I just figured, that's just the way it was. And I was like, well, maybe it's because, you really need to think about getting a job where you're going to be talking to people most of the day, right? Collaborating with people most of the day. Maybe that's a much better fit for you. Maybe you wouldn't find the work to be so difficult. And she said, well, I'm going to go think about that. And then after a couple of days, I got a note from her, and she goes, I don't want your job.
Well, I think that's funny because a lot of people have found themselves during the whole pandemic in 2020 and 2021, they started realizing things about themselves. Either I really like being alone in my office, being able to do everything without anybody bothering me and anybody talking to me. This is the best thing ever. And you have the other side of the population who's going, this is horrible. I don't like this. I need interaction. I need to talk to people. I don't want to be locked in my office away from
Right.
everybody. And depending on that, you're going to figure out what kind of a company you want to work for. In my company, we are all completely remote right now, and that means everyone's working from home. But I have several people on my team who keep open a Zoom link all day long just so they can talk to each other while they're working because they're social people. And the other parts of us, like me, I just want to be locked in my office and left alone so I can get the work done, right? And so it just depends on who you are and your personality. So understanding that and understanding your strengths and how they fit the jobs you're trying to go for are really, really important here.